Hi, this is Sonia, also known as Elentari Cosplay, and today I am working on a Ponyo's mom cosplay. She's also called Grand Mamar or the Goddess of Mercy. Um, she's basically the ocean. She's described as big and beautiful and terrifying. um, so, Ponyo. I absolutely love this movie, but when I watched it again a couple weeks ago, it just hit me especially hard. Like, it's just so relaxing. It's the perfect rainy day movie. Um, and I just think the messages are so sweet. And so I thought this was the perfect time to cosplay Grand Noir and make a good haul cosplay. Um, I usually take a long time to do my cosplays. I like doing them over, many months or um, even a year, depending on how big the project is. So I wanted to put myself through a challenge and say, hey, what if we did this in just a few days? And why not videotape it? So I did start sewing yesterday afternoon, but I had some technical difficulties. Partway through, the power went out. And then I just had, worked and worked and made a few things and made a few mistakes, and I don't really want to waste your time with it. So what I'm going to do now is walk you through what I did and what did work, so you can at least see the process and learn from my mistakes. And then I'll move on to the next part and what we can do today. So yeah. So I spent some time sewing yesterday, and I made the top to my Ponyo dress, which I'm very happy with. And it did take a little bit to arrive at this part. The first thing I did was I took a little summer dress that I like and folded it in half and laid it out on some interfacing, which works really well as patterning paper. You might be able to find it listed as patterning paper in the interfacing section of Joann's. Otherwise, just really light interfacing. But what's cool about this is it doesn't tear very easily, and you can sew it and try things on. So I traced the dress, and the pattern came out too small, so using that as a guideline, I made this. And found that it was the perfect size for my back, but the waist needed to be like a little wider, and I wanted to change where the neckline was. So I made a separate piece for the front. And while I had it on myself, I kind of marked where I wanted the neckline to be and cut that out, marked where I wanted some darts to be and cut those out, and altered a little bit by adding some masking tape and more patterning paper to kind of smooth it out. And I didn't really like the darted design that came out of it. So this was the product. And it's fine, but I don't like the puckering that's happening. And so I was gonna make a seam that went down both sides to kind of smooth out the puckering. And I feel like Grand Noir should be effortless and just be smooth and flowy. So adding more seams just seemed like something I didn't want to do. So thankfully I do have a lot of fabric because I got it on sale, and I recut the top. And here, what I did was I liked that I had these darts because it helped the fabric curve, but instead I fold it in half, and then just folded it over slightly so the dart sections are together. Because what was happening was there was too much fabric here, so by putting those pieces together, it shortened it up and helped eliminate that extra bulk in there. And the fabric's got a little bit of stretch to it, so once I recut it with that new shape, it could just be nice and flowy. So, very happy with it. I also had some fun with the sleeves. Sleeves are hard. This is my sleeve pattern, which worked well for the fitted sleeve. But, you know, nice fitted sleeve. Happy with it, but that's a little tight for a lovely, you know, flowing goddess of the sea. So I had to redo the sleeves. But I don't know. Maybe at least I have a pattern for next time. Like I know that works for me. Here's a few steps I did for the sleeves. Measuring out the top of the pattern and making sure that it's the same length as the circumference of the armhole is probably the biggest thing I've had to learn. Also, trying to decide how tall the arm cap should be is still a learning curve for me. And as you can see, I couldn't get it right on the money. What I did end up doing was adding a pleat on the top. So that way I've got a little room for air, it just adds a little volume. And I don't have to worry if one sleeve lines up perfectly and the other one doesn't. They both just have that cute little pleat on the top. So that's something I've just kind of learned to work with over the years. If I can add a little pleat in, I do it. But very difficult if you're doing like a men's fitted coat, for example. But for this one, this is a fun cosplay for me. So yeah, that's everything I got done yesterday. And today I'm really excited. The first thing I want to do today is Ponyo's mom holds her in a little bubble. And so I have this Christmas ornament here. And I have a little Ponyo figure. It's a little cupcake topper. And I want to put the cupcake topper in the bubble. So she doesn't fit now. But I think if I take a hot knife, then I can cut around and get this out. Also, there's a lot of this like little iridescent grassy stuff in here. That's a little much. I don't need all of that. Maybe just like a little bit to keep it like a shiny bubble, but so I'm just using my finger to take that out. Yeah, just a little bit. So it's just like a little magical. So let's see how that goes. Hey, so I'm outside and I've got my hot knife and I'm gonna see if I can burn through this. If it doesn't work, I've got a couple more. Haha, that worked pretty well.
She is. Little Ponyo in a bubble. He's so cute. And so she can just like sit in your hand. Do you like, hello, Ponyo? Pretty durable, so that's nice. And if she ever did come unglued, I could just pull this out and then pull Ponyo out and reglue, and just no big deal. Like if I ever wanted to change this. There's those little iridescent thingies in there that just make it shine and shimmer. So yeah, super happy. And now I gotta go to work because I work night shift. So, see you later.
Hi, good morning. So this is day 3. I was only able to work on the cosplay for a few hours yesterday, but I did get that bubble made, so that was really exciting. And today I want to go back to sewing, and I want to finish the dress. So it's time to make the skirt, and when I bought my fabric from Joann's, I just said, okay, keep it on the thing, keep it on the bolt. I can't remember how much I got. I think maybe 5 yards. But yeah, it was super on sale, so that was awesome. It's like this cool polyester with an iridescent netting on top of it, and it's got a little bit of a stretch that's nice. It's been a really good fabric so far. So what I'm going to do now is see how much fabric I have left, and then I will calculate out my skirt to maximize poof. There's a couple different styles I've seen. I've seen it more like a shift dress where just much more simple, or some people have done more of a gathered skirt. I'm a really big fan of A-line, so my plan is to just make it as A-line and flowy as possible. So let's go. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go look in the mirror, but it feels good. It's a little long, so I might bring it up just a touch, but I like it. All right, I'm gonna go check it out. So the dress is ready to go, and what I did do is I added a slip underneath that's sewn into the dress. I found this pretty blue tulle. It just made me think of the colors in the movie, and I couldn't find a color that matched this right at Joann's, but I thought it was kind of pretty to have a different blue anyway. And so I just pleated it around the bottom, around the waistline. But since this fabric on top shows wrinkles really easily, I kept a panel in the front that was not pleated, so it looks a lot smoother. But then you've got pleats all over the back, and that little extra pleating in back just to create more volume. Here you can see a little ribbon. So when I didn't do French seams, and then I had to take my waist up a little bit, I ended up with a little longer seam, and I realized I had a natural pocket that I could run a ribbon through. So that way, if I wanted to pull it in later, make the waist smaller, and make it a little more fitted, I could. So it's kind of like a fun detail. I did the same thing at the top here. Since the neck is of it's a stretchy material, I didn't want it to hang open too much. This way I was able to gather it in, and like hides the bra straps, things like that, doesn't get too low in the neck. And I think it adds kind of like a nice little volume of puffer to it. So yeah, that is all the work on the dress. Hello! So I will catch you up on my progress here. The jewelry is all done. This is the necklace, and when I initially started beading it, I was putting 3 beads instead of 5, and I ended up spacing it out a little more. 5 in between was better. I also just made a little piece in the back, just thought it was cool. And it's kind of heavy, but at the same time, I really like the weight it has. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. The other piece I got finished is the headpiece. And this is another piece of shell, which I used a Dremel tool to grind down. I found out that when you use a Dremel on shell, it smells like burning hair. It's gross. So I would suggest wearing a respirator. My husband made sure I wore one. Same gold beads again, and the larger gold beads, and then a little bit of wire. I went with wire instead of string for both of these, just I think since they're larger, I feel like they'll hold their shape a little better. So, yeah. And then I did make earrings. And at first they were the triple shells like the ones we see in the movie, but 3 of these shells on each earring, that was too heavy on my ears, so I had to go with 1. But oops, at least we still have the general shape, so I'm really excited. So for the last part of my project, I want to somehow represent the water, and I also want to somehow represent Ponyo's little sisters. And what I could do is attach a bunch of them to the dress, but this netting fabric is really sensitive, and if I attached them, I would never be able to take them off, and I kind of like the simplicity of the dress. So what I'm thinking of doing is I have a large piece of dark blue tulle, and I'm going to either have her carry it, carry it around like a scarf, or lightly attach it to the dress, and it'll look like the ocean is flowing behind me. And then I can attach all of Ponyo's little sisters and the little like sea creatures and squids, fish, all these fun pieces cut out from the blue scraps onto this flowing veil behind her. So my goal is to finish this tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But if I finish it tonight, then I can edit the video and have it released tomorrow, which is really exciting, because that means that I have finished the project within a week, which is a big deal for me since I usually take so long. So we'll see. I don't want to rush it too bad. If I feel like I need more time, I'll take more time, but I would love to get this done. So let's go.
well, the costume is done. There's still some things I'd like to work on to give it a few extra special touches, but unfortunately I don't have time to do that within the time I allowed for this video. But if I do add more details, like more details on the back, for example, I will post them and let you know. I'm really happy with this. It's very comfy, it's very simple. I like that we have like Ponyo's sisters and that I have my own little Ponyo to carry around with me. The wig is comfy. There's like a few little spots here where I feel like the wig base is showing through, so I might kind of touch that up. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to do more videos like this in the future. And take care.